mom's goodness. This is Stephen West shawl. I'll have to show you. There we go. Look at the colors. So, and I figured it out, if you haven't noticed. Oops, my gimbal's a little jumpy, but horizontal mode. So they just moved the button. And in the latest update, I didn't catch it. But look at all the colors. You'll also notice it's getting a little dark, but it is overcast sky. There's the sun going down behind me over there. Woohoo! Yeah, I know, overcast mode. I mean, horizontal mode is, oh, it makes my day. Anyway, it's so much easier to show. But yeah, it's getting a little dark, and usually, I'm probably going too fast there, sorry. Usually, it gets too dark to film at the end of October, and we're pretty close now. So if we have to, we'll go indoors for the second half. But look how pretty! I love, love, love the colors. Ina says hi. Say hi to Ina for me, Albert. I see some others in there too. We're back in Norway, yeah. And extremely jet-lagged. Hi, hi. Have you seen Carl? I need a Carl. I have... He's X throwing. Okay, we'll go there. Do you want to say hi? You can run, but you can't hide.
Hi.
Czech Republic representing. Czech Republic representing. That's not easy to say, damn it. Česká republika. I can do it. I can do it. That's Tomas with the Z. Tomas. Let's not call him Tomas or Thomas. I can. Anything. I can do anything I want, damn it. Oh, anyway. Beautiful, beautiful. And you can see the powder snow is returning up on the mountains there. It was cold last night. 2 nights ago when we got home, but we were too dead to see it. The can't usually see it here because, oops, sorry, going a little fast. There's not much sky. This is one wall of mountain, other wall of mountain. So we have just up there to look. But there was, some people got some great photos of it. Yeah, we made it home safe. This was a 3-flight return. Normally it's Minneapolis, St. Paul, straight to Europe, and then one from Europe to Bergen or Oslo. Not this time. This time it was 6,000 kroner cheaper to take a 3rd flight. So we went from Minneapolis, St. Paul to Newark, New Jersey, to Munich, to Bergen. That 3rd flight nearly killed us. I don't know if you need that to get in the office, but if you need, oh no, that's the wrong key. You can't have that. But that's the key to the beer. Oh. Okay, Carl needs beer. Hi, Carl.
Hi, Carl.
So our front microphone seems to be working pretty well, which I like. So next thing to do is to test the Doro microphones, if we can wear them with a new phone, but we haven't, only so much at a time. So it looks dark, Carl. Oh, I had a birthday on Monday. You have a birthday tomorrow. He's going to be 49, people. That's just sick. Say hello when you return to 50. That's when the rest of us are. Anyway, how's the day going today?
No, it's been busy, but okay.
Yeah? You survived the United States?
Yeah.
Yeah, and?
It's like Karens everywhere.
Why do you say that?
Because you get assaulted by people's small talk all the time.
Yeah. Did you make best friends with the people in the, well, not in the bathroom yet, but everywhere else? In the elevator?
In the elevator, yes.
You can't get into an elevator in Minnesota without becoming best friends with the person next to you. Any other places you made new best friends?
Every time I went out for a cigarette,
That's
somebody wanted to come and tell me how unseasonably hot it was.
Yeah, we are very proud of our weather, and hot, we just can't do hot. So I gotta say, I was pretty happy to return home to a little bit of a breeze, because it was unseasonably hot, okay?
Yeah. And people who don't feel the need to tell you about their lacking child support payments.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, you went up for that one. I was sitting outside of the hotel, or just outside with a little outdoor area, because it was too hot inside. It was cold. I was sitting at 7 o'clock in the morning. Then the cook comes out, thinks I'm frozen to death. And he says, I can't believe, well, you know, it is kind of hot this year. He says, oh, yeah, no, Norway, I'd love to go over to Europe at some point, but I can't get a passport because I haven't paid my child support in a while, which is just because I was young and dumb. So I mean to pay it back, and then I can get my passport, and then I can go and travel. But hi, I'm Karin. What's your name?
And for the people on this side of the Atlantic, in Norway, I would say you have to know somebody for about a year, maybe 2,
Before you get that
they
much
tell you that.
That was an impressive amount of information, you know.
Yeah. I don't know how it is in other countries, but I think America is the country where people tell you about their lacking child support payments before they ask you for your name.
Yeah.
That has to be unique.
In Norway, if you get a comment, it's like, cult? Yeah.
And even that is overly talkative for a Norwegian.
Cold. Too much information. Yeah, I know, but oh my God. And then we get in the elevator with the kid with the bike and a piece of luggage, and he can't seem to manage the bike and the piece of luggage, but we found all out about their trip and everywhere that they were going to.
Yep.
So, well.
Considering how much he fumbled that trick of the bike and the suitcase at the same time, I wonder how he got into the elevator in the
I
first
don't know how he
place.
got into the elevator, but his father was trying to help him out, and in the meantime told us all about where they biked. And yeah, that was a 2-floor trip too, by the way. No, anyway, go get yourself a beer and we'll walk around a little bit, and then I've got stuff in my backpack here. I'm not Viking today, but I've got needle binding. So, solving...
Might still be some heat in the fire over there.
Yeah, there is. I think there might be someone sitting... No, there's not someone sitting there. Beautiful out here, though. So, what else was... Oh, yeah, I figured out my problem with the stitch of the month. So, I can't believe how tired I was. I must have been tired anyway. So, the stitch of the month, I pick out... Oh, my God, kill me. Vehmasjärvi, or however you say it. Anyway, Nella's killing me because she knows. Anyway, but it's a Russian 1+1+2. And I figured out how I screwed that one up because I posted that was going to be the stitch of the month. And then I go on to Neulakentat's page, Neulakentat.fi if you haven't seen it yet. And I click up the list of Russian stitches, and then I go to click on that one, but I misclicked. I clicked the one underneath it, which was Russian 1+1+3. And I chose F2, and that was the stitch I was trying to show, but I couldn't see my loops very well through a vertical lens, so hopefully it'll go a little bit better with a horizontal lens this time. Look how pretty. So I gotta say hi. Let's see, who's here? I finally got through my happy birthday messages on Facebook. Thank you so much. This year I actually got to see the end of them because last time Facebook starts resetting the page when you get to a certain level. Nella's here from Finland, and Audra's here from Lithuania. James is here. This one I had to look up before I came out here. Hi, Karin Karl. I'm doing a devil's darning needle type of dragonfly and just practicing as I go. So I figured out there was why they asked why some people confuse or dragonfly or call a dragonfly needle or a darning needle, but I did not see what the technique looks like, so I have to look into more of that. Let's see. Kiwi's here from Burgundy. It's a little bit rainy here, but fortunately it's let up a little bit so I can come out. But you can see the puddles aren't very huge, so we've managed to avoid most of it. But it is definitely not a hot spell going on here, although I understand the cold has returned to Duluth now. And it's starting to look a bit like normal. Can't say much for Minneapolis. It was pretty hot when we left. Let's see. Albert is here, and Ian, of course. Susan from Adirondacks. Let's see. Lindsay's here. Anne is here. Max is here. Yep, we're back in Norway. Heidi er her. Gratulerer, Tante Heidi. Enda en gang da. Prude is here. Poland is beautiful with the autumn colors. It's kind of cold and sunny. Yeah, so here's a big difference. Okay. So when we left, Duluth was absolutely perfect. It was a nice sunny day, and you could see red, but here you just get yellows. It's a lot of birch. But in Duluth, we're far south enough. It's a degree of latitude further south, actually, where you get maple and oak, and they turn nice bright reds and oranges. So, and actually, I was kind of surprised, but we were out and about mostly during the weekdays. So when people are supposed to be at work, but actually when we went to Castle Danger, for example, in northern Minnesota to go for pie, it was a 45-minute wait. And even on Canal Park, when I took Carl to Grandma's Saloon and Deli, it was a 30-minute wait. And even though that it was an odd time of day, But the reason is actually, and even parking was becoming a bit of an issue, is because the scenic fall tour, people like to drive around the lake, Lake Superior. They do a lake tour to see all the colors changing. And oh my God, is it beautiful. So fall is my favorite time of year, if you can't tell. Let's see. Happy 49 to Carl. Gratulere morn. Oh, I have to tell them all. And just because Carl fails at Facebook, you can put a happy birthday on there and he'll see it. But he doesn't post anything. He's horrible. So, but because I link him and everything, I'll try to find a picture of something to make him look incredibly embarrassing. Gotta celebrate while he's still 49. Next time he'll be 50. Look how pretty. Let's see. Oh my God, it's still 90 in Texas where Lindsay is. Holy crap, that's hot. Oh, Albert saw the Northern Lights. Yeah, the Aurora Borealis or the Northern Lights. And PJ got photos of it in England too. I got this message. Okay, so let's see, we'll turn it that way so I can talk to you. So we get home at like 5 o'clock after we take 3 flights. So we leave at, we get to the airport in Minneapolis at 8 a.m. I'm going to explain my whole long trip for you. 8 a.m. Then we get on the plane at 11 o'clock because it takes a while to go through everything. To go to New York, or Newark actually, it was Newark, New Jersey. Then we get to Newark and we go and see our gate is C-125, so we run to C-125 and think, wow, we made that in good time. It only took us 30 minutes to get to their gate and we have an hour and 40 minutes. So then we sit down, let's start trying to catch up on emails, etc., and look a little bit and get some food. And then all of a sudden we hear a gate change, and it's only 10 minutes, and they're boarding. The gate changes now to C-112. You would think 125 to 112 wasn't that far, but... So we haul ass by everybody who just had a lot of time to get to their gate. No, we were just speeding by everybody as fast as we can, and believe me, I almost had Carl running, which is quite a sight to see. But we get there, just as last time, we were... Karin Biome and Carl Ardal, if you could please come to your gate. Everybody on the plane is waiting. But then that's when we just came through anyway. We didn't realize there was a gate change. But holy crap. So we barely made that flight, but we did. And then, God knows what time that was. And then we land in Bergen, fast forward 7 hours from Minneapolis. We land in Bergen about 8:30, 8:25 in the morning or something like that. Then we catch a metro. We get all our bags, get the cognac for the former father-in-law. He's going to love it. And then we get to, then we have to take the light rail to Bergen Central Station. Then we have to wait 2 hours there, so we got sushi, oh damn, to catch our train to Voss at, I think it was at actually 2:30 we ended up catching the train to Voss, so we had more time than I thought. Anyway, so then we're train to Voss, don't remember anything of it. I was snoring on Carl's shoulder the whole time. I think I pretty much forgot the last flight too. I think I was sleeping the whole time. And then luckily we only had about 6 minutes to wait for our bus to Voss. And we get here at about 5 o'clock and it was gorgeous. And that's what the front, the thumbnail picture looks like. That's just from on the way bus from to our house. So that was quite fun. And then we unpacked, the fastest I've ever unpacked in my life. And then we just passed out, and I don't know what happened to yesterday. I think there was daylight or something. But around 12:30, my phone was pinging saying there's the northern lights are out. Go outside and look up. And I just thought, oh, that's nice, and went back to sleep. Probably should have tried out the new camera lens. But anyway, on the way there, it's not really a problem because you wake up a little bit too early, but you have a lot of time in the morning to get up, which is, you know, nice. You get up at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, which doesn't happen on a daily basis for me. But on the way back, it always messes me up. So this time, thank God we were smart enough to take 1 day for jet lag. So I don't know what it is, but when you go ahead in time, it always screws me up. And I was happy to hear that Nell has had the same experience. And this is Carl's first true experience with jet lag. I forgot to ask how he was doing. We sort of missed each other yesterday. When I was asleep, he was awake. When he was awake, I was asleep. So jet lag. No, but this, okay, so it was 6,000 kroner cheaper, like I said, to take 3 flights back instead of 2. And I thought, screw it, why not? probably not going to do that again. The third flight nearly killed me. It turned out it was supposed to be 22 hours travel time, but when you add on from Bergen to Voss, you can, and then to Gudvangen, you can make it a good 28 just for fun. So holy crap, but it was fun, and we hope to go back again next year. We shall see. Look, I still have fingernails. They didn't break. One did. This one. Anyway. So now I have to read some more chat here, and then I'll see what happened to Carl. The shawl is gorgeous. Oh, yeah, no, Mom loves me. Stephen West shawl, and she does it out of this, oh, God, I don't know what you call it, but it's basically almost like a DK weight, but they're hand-dyed. And it's all done in garter stitch, I think, for the most part. I'm going to have to show what that looks like. Hang on a minute. We'll put this down. It's all done in garter stitch. And it's like a clue thing. He just started a new one. I think they're on week 2 now if you wanted to try it. It's Stephen West, Stephen West, and he'll have a shawl with some mysteries. I think it's usually on YouTube or, yeah, but it's looking kind of cool. They've got like this stripe thing going. All right, you can look this way and I'll get the shawl up. Maybe you see if I stand, let's see, where's the pole? There. There we go. Ta-da! It's really long, I like it. But there's a little hole pattern in there, I don't know if you can see it. And it's the same front and back pretty much. But it looks like, for those of you who knit, let's see if I can see in the front here. It looks like it has a yarn over, knit two together kind of thing going on there. But the pieces, from what I understand, are done individually and then put together, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, it wraps a million times around the neck and it's long where you need it to be. So I just have to tuck myself back in. There we go. And she had more shawls there. I'm my Yeti now. More shawls than I knew what to do with, and I could have taken more home, but I had to make room for at least 4 quilts and an Afghan. Oh, and she did a really cool thing with an Afghan. I gotta do this. I forgot all about it. We call it the Scribble Blanket, and I showed it a little bit last week. That's the one I took home. So, yeah, my mom's got great taste in colors. She likes gem colors, gemstone colors. But yeah, so if you can do this with Nalbinding too, anything you make, mittens, whatever. Or a hat, but if you are good at knitting with, or Nalbinding with 2 colors, so you take one color that's constant. In this case, it was, or not in this case, but in the shawl or the blanket, it was, I think, white or off-white anyway. But as long as it's a constant color, and then you add, like, you can do sock yarn weight and then do another sock yarn with it. So that's one color is always changing, a bit like this one does a little bit, and then one color stays the same. And if it's a lighter color background, it looks like somebody sat there and scribbled on a piece of paper with crayons. If it's a dark color background, for example, black or navy blue, it'll kind of look like electric lights. So it's a good way to use up your stash anyway. So she was so happy that I liked it that she's making me another one. I got to have more baggage for this. It was only $70 to take an extra bag under the plane. If I thought we could have wheeled it all the way home, I might have done it. Next time I'll have to get ground transportation from Bergen so I can get it all with me, but can dream and wish. Let's see if we find a Carl coming down here soon. Let's see. Hopefully you got to see the shawl okay there. I have normal shoes. Oh yeah, no, Mom likes me. So plantar fasciitis, I have no idea if I have that or not, but let's just self-diagnose myself and say that I do. I don't have any heel pain or anything, but I have pain on the, where I'm wiggling there, the outside of my foot. Well, probably because I'm a little obese. Let's see, little being nice. But I've got these, they look like snowshoes. They're so huge and wide in the front, but they're orthopedic shoes because I'm over 50. But I have to say they're doing the trick anyway, because after all that running around yesterday, my iPhone fitness app is very excited with me today, or this trip. Not yesterday though. But it seems to be helping quite a bit with the pain on the outside of my foot. I don't know if it's plantar fasciitis, because sometimes you get heel pain with it and other stuff, but I'm self-diagnosing myself and thinking that's probably what it is, in which case it'll heal itself on its own. If it lasts for far too long, then I'll go and see a doctor. But until then, orthopedic shoes. Thank you, Mom. She knows these things. Let's see. Look a little bit more this way so I can see. Oh, yeah, Peruta found a link for West Nits. It's in the chat. Westnits.com is Stephen West. And if she might have found the actual scarf, I'm not sure, but the shawl, but he's got lots and lots of beautiful shawls. And they're kind of fun to do it because they're mysteries. They're stitch-alongs. And you get like a clue each week or a month maybe, I'm not sure. I would love to do a mystery again, but it's really hard to adapt a mystery to needle binding, but we will find a way one of these days. Let's see. Peruta says, I often sleep through flights. I can be asleep before takeoff. How in the hell can you be asleep when the movie choices are really good? I know everything about Amy Winehouse now. And I forgot what else I watched, but there was like 2 documentaries on that. And then I watched Milli Vanilli, but it was only in German because that was the way over. So Milli Vanilli in German, The Sad Story, if you remember that one. I didn't realize one of the guys had killed himself. That was too bad. It was the good-looking one with the really blue eyes, too. And then what else did I watch? Carl was watching everything with the Planet of the Apes. So he knows everything about the Planet of the Apes now. I think there was 4 of those. Most of the planes seem to be watching everything Bad Boys. I was going to watch the one about the woman who swam the English Channel, but I ran out of time because I wasn't sleeping on the plane. But the last flight didn't have a TV, so out I went. So, but yeah, I can't remember what else I watched. There was a bunch of stuff I watched. The shawl is called Spring Cleaning. You're right. My mom said that. I completely forgot about it, but yep, that name rings a bell. Most Stephen West patterns are not mysteries, but he does a yearly mystery, which is currently running, says Nella. Yeah, my mom's trying to catch up to it now. She's also doing the sock of the month. She's also doing, yeah, it turns out that the blanket, one of the blankets that I liked was actually a temperature blanket. So that was kind of fun. I didn't bring that one back, though. It was the chevron style one, but I showed it last week. I didn't realize it at the time, but that was the temperature blanket. And there was like a green one on my mom's stool that I took a picture, or I took a shot of, and that one is actually a shadow box kind of a thing. I think I was trying to call that one a temperature blanket, but anyway. Let's see. Kiwi says, this week I finished a neck warmer and a pair of wrist warmers made with the yarn I spun on the spinning wheel. And now I'm using the rest of the yarn to bake a hat. So I like bake a hat. It's bake. So I'll get a full set. Oh, I love that. Oh, it's extra special when you get to use the yarn that you made yourself, I think, too. Nella was just telling me that she's getting her hands on some yarn that her great-grandmother hand spun and made some shawls out of that. I think that is such a neat idea and a great way to honor her, and she gave it to family members. Oh, Nella's on part 4 of that shawl. Oh, my mom's got some catching up to do. Nolvia's here. She says the shawl is versatile. I agree. Oh, and the one I said just is made in one piece with short rows. Okay, that makes more sense. So then that probably is like a... Oh, short rows, if you don't know what that is. I did last, for the Christmas, for the Advent calendar, which, by the way, if you want to make a pattern for Maria Lindhale's Advent calendar, let her know immediately. I have to figure out what to do with that. But anyway, the one I made 2 years ago was a capelet. That's the one Anne's doing. That one is short rows, where you do some rows. So, like, let's say this is the whole length of your shawl in the or a capelet. Some rows only go halfway up, and then you do back, and then another one goes a little bit longer, and then you do back. That kind of thing, but those are short rows, if that made sense. Pruda says, my boss's wife is having a baby, so I started a pair of booties. Oh, that'll be great. You know, I've only made 2 pair, and I haven't made any since. I should probably do that. The stupid thing was I didn't write down what I did. What I did is I crocheted 1 booty from a pattern alongside it. And then every time I was done with one section, I would mimic that section with Nalbinding so that I would get the sizing right, because I was so afraid it wouldn't get on the foot of the baby. But then I didn't write down what I did. So, but you can see those. I think they're on Instagram somewhere. Lindsay says, oh, I got to go a little bit higher up. Not plantar fasciitis, peroneal tendonitis, stress fracture outside of the bones, most common causes. Okay. I like that self-diagnosis better. But treatment is basically what you're doing. Taking it easy, supportive shoes. If it persists, see a doctor. It could be a fracture or things that need surgery. That's kind of what I was thinking. But yeah, see where the white line is on my foot there? That's pretty much where the pain is. So, but I get it when I walk around a bit, if I stand too long on it. So, but the shoes huge difference between walking through the airports, let's say running, on the way there, and then with the shoes and on the way back. Big difference. Then I've got my backpack over here. No idea where Carl is, so his loss. But he's probably trying to find the beer. Okay, so we're gonna go find, I think we can be outside a little bit longer here. Let's see. We can go sit over there where we sat last because it's a big table. It's not really raining too much. So one of the things I did on the plane, no, it's not raining much at all. Look at the puddles. Okay, we're all right. Was finish one of the wrist warmers. Nella got to see a picture of it because I was talking to her just before. Okay, this is going to be a little wet. Maybe I'll stand. All right. Okie dokie. And then we'll put this down. Maybe I can do it this way now. It's such a nice thing. Okay. And then somebody put my favorite yarn on fiend.no. It's like, I don't know, eBay, Craigslist kind of thing. It's the Sulka yarn. And they put it on for a really good price. So they're probably happy to get rid of it because this is ages old. But I used all mine and now I have more. And then she sends me an email saying, are you home yet? I found 27 or 47 more skeins. I'm like, shut up and take my money. So, but she has found some more colors anyway, but I was super happy. It takes me about 1.5 of these to make a hat. But they're so nice and soft. It's got 20% silk in it. So don't you just love it when the yarn that you love, that they don't make anymore, has kind of turns up secondhand and cheaper. Okay, so this was the yarn of my mom's stash I was using. This is her reject wool, not because she didn't like it, but because it was a lot of it and she didn't know what she was going to make with it, or maybe it was leftover, I forget. This is the same kind of wool she would use in this, by the way. Or maybe it is a little bit thicker. I don't know. It's like that thickness. Let's see. Lost half of my next one. This is what it looks like. It's so pretty. So I have no idea what the name of the yarn is. I forgot because the tag wasn't on it, but it's got different colors of reds in there. And then, I mean, it's almost like the Northern Lights, this stuff here. But there's sometimes the light color is whitish, sometimes it's gold, sometimes it's blue. And there's some even really pretty shades up there. So when I was using this, I have to always start at the same end. It would be easier for me to ball, but I'm too lazy to make a ball, so this is what I did. But I have to keep track of where my end is so that when I take off yarn, this end goes back on the needle, and I usually do that by just wrapping it around a few times. That's how I know this is the end I gotta attach with. But if I am really good at it and I have it starting and stopping in the same spot all the time, then you get to see the pooling. I don't know if it's tie-dye, but it's definitely hand-dyed anyway. You can see some really, it's like mesmerizing. It's like going down a rabbit hole. Maybe you don't want to do it. But if you go on a YouTube, TikTok, or whatever and watch them, there's these little 40-second reels where they throw a bunch of skeins in a pan and then they start pouring colors over it, and some of them are speckled on and everything. And the results are amazing. So that's what that is, that kind of yarn. Let's see, dig into my bag here. Ooh, another surprise. Gotta show you that too. Let's see. It's in plastic bags right now, so it doesn't snag on any Velcro. Where is it hiding? It's hiding. Always have embroidery with. There it is. Okay, so it's not quite done yet. Pretty close, but not quite. So this is what it looked like if I kept the order. What is the name of my favorite yarn again? Sulka by Mirasol. Just a moment here, I'll show it to you. It's hard to find. And this one, she sold it at a really good price. She sold it like a third of the price of what it would have cost brand new 10 years ago. Mirasol Sulka. It's spun in Peru. 50 gram skein, this one. but it's quite thick. So if I make a hat out of Oslo stitch, it'll take me about 1.5 of these. So somewhere around 75 grams. It's also 60% merino, 20% alpaca, and 20% silk. I could, yeah, silk by Marisol. So it's my favorite because it works up so fast. It's super soft and it sells really fast when I have it done because I can't, what am I gonna do with all these hats? So I put them in the shop and they sell. But this is how the pooling or the striping of that yarn went, by the way, as long as I kept matching my ends up. And I kind of like the way it looks like sutures. So it looks quite cool. Unfortunately, I had to do one skein at a time. Or one wrist warm at a time. Normally I would like to do 2 at a time because then I can keep track that I increase and decrease correctly. So I wrote it down, and let's just hope I'm a little less stressed when I do the other one. I shouldn't wait too long though. But yeah, there you can see it looks like stitching on here and there, and then you've got, so I have to tuck in my ends, and I will put 1 or 2 rows around here depending on how thick it is. And the reason I do this is because, well, this actually got caught on something on the plane and I just about lost it. So I will have to weave that in. But usually this part and this part is a very weak point if you don't do another roll. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass to go back and do it later. But so now the next trick, the next piece, it looks like this. But, and now I have to remember which is my start end. Oh yeah, I put a little knot on my beginning end so I don't mix it up. So it goes this way. Did I start it in the same spot? It seems to be that the color started right after the white, so hopefully it'll match. We'll see. But that's going to be the tricky part. You know, if it doesn't, too bad. It's just going to be that way because I decided so. So it looks a bit, hopefully I'm like right on par. I think so. I see it, Carl. Okay. So that was my needle binding for today. Oh, and no, I didn't. I have one more. I lied. Okay. Mom also had Malabrigo Rasta. I think it's Rasta, the fat one anyway. You know what I mean? Let's see if we go way up. Okay, I got my hair up. So I finished another pointy hat. This sky in the background is amazing for photos, I just gotta say. And fuzzy hair. Let's see. We'll go this way. Wrong way. There we are. So this is what that yarn looked like, and yes, I have to fasten my ends. I didn't bring any darning needles with me, but you can see how thick it is. It's even thicker than the sulka there. So this is just Oslo stitch with a point, and it's a little bit darker, or no, more purple, deeper purple than it looks on the camera here. Maybe if I film it the other way, where we see Carl looking for a beer. Oh, there he is. Hi, Carl.
Hello.
You're a little too.
Did you bring the glass?
Nope, you're gonna have to take it straight from the bottle, like a real man. Okay, so that was the hat I made. That one makes quite quickly. Every once in a while, when you're working with thin yarn, you need some fat yarn to make it feel like you're actually getting something done. I don't know if I can put this back in here now. It's a little wet, but we'll try. And then I did some embroidery, but I knew I was going to be getting yarn from Mom, so I purposely did not bring any needle binding on the plane. This one, which is almost done, he needs this is my own design. It's kind of based on the Yelling Dragon a little bit because I like the way he tucked into himself. And it's a stem stitch here, and I used chain stitch because it's faster than
Greased lightning.
not back stitch. What's it called? Split stitch. It's faster than split stitch. So I did that, and it looks somewhat the same, but split stitch will sit lower and be more correct. But I'm just missing this dark blue outline here and in his claws there, and then he'll be all done. He even has a little silky eye. So there you go. And then I'd have this one. Do it show and tell because you took too damn long. This one is not quite done yet. This is the last of my plant dyed wool, or of this color. It's basically yellow over dyed with green, so it looks like poison. And this is the Ernest style dragon. It is upside down. There, now he looks a bit more recognizable. So I think I have just enough to use this poison colored yarn in these little tails here. This green guy will be a different color just to make so it doesn't look like the same one. And then I'll fill it in with an even lighter color with the rest. So I'm kind of happy the way that turns out. I don't know if you can see how yeah, there you see the little poison color. But the light green looks kind of neon it now. So anyway, okay. Until then, Carl has a beer. Are you happy to sit out in the wet or do you want to stand? I'm standing.
What did you think was going to happen when you let me pick the bear?
What did you pick? Oh my God, what did you get? It's a repeat, people. It's a repeat beer. Warning, Audra. Go ahead, pronounce it.
Birzici.
Is that what took you so long trying to figure out which beer you were gonna?
No, I was looking for the glass.
Oh yeah, no. It's,
And then I was uncertain if you had taken it already or if it was just me who didn't remember where it
you're
was.
just gonna have to have the beer Zici. Do you want to tell them why you like that beer so much?
Because it's good. There isn't really much more to say about it.
Yeah? Oh, shoot, I forgot to get my needle binding to try. Of course, I put it at the bottom of the bag. Okay, there we go. There's my little sample piece. Are you happy today, Carl? Would you like to give that another taste test? Does it still taste as good as it did the first time you got it? Man, I can't trust you. Can't leave you alone for a second. You're supposed to be trying new beer. But you can tell them all about the fun new beer you had in United States.
Yeah.
If you remember the names of it, because those we couldn't film. We were kind of in a public place.
There was two different, I tasted a lot of different beer in America. They have something called utepils.
Yeah. That was Sammy. No, it was just it wasn't.
Samuel Adams was another brewery.
Yeah.
Their beer was, I didn't get to drink all of it. I have to donate a lot because...
My little brother is crying he gets to have it.
But Samuel Adams was strong and fairly good beer. Utepils, when you basically make a copy of what you can buy in a store in Norway, in America, it doesn't get to be that good. Then I had alcoholics coffee, which is a concept that...
By Dunkin' Donuts, of all places.
Which is a concept that sounds a lot better in theory than it is in practice.
No.
But there was dragon's milk.
That was your favorite. There was two kinds I saw. One was a stout with coffee in it.
Yeah, they're both stouts, but one is with coffee, the other one was without, I think.
Yeah.
They're both very, very good.
You tried to bring them home, but then we didn't know what it would do under the plane.
Yeah, I was afraid of murdering all of her mother's quilts, which would cause a serious strain in our relationship, I'm afraid.
Huge. So, meanwhile, who's ever cleaning the hotel room at the Crown Plaza, you're welcome.
But this was actually so good that I'm going to start bothering my local Vinmonopolet to take it in.
I wonder if you can, yeah.
I think that should be possible.
Do you remember where it was brewed from? Was that like Michigan or something? They might have wrote it in there,
I think
too.
it was Minnesota, but not Duluth and not St. Paul.
No.
But this is Googleable information.
Yeah, something Pruda might be able to find it. She's a whiz. Okay.
But it was very strong and very good.
11%, I think it was.
Yeah,
Carl was giggly.
It's up there with the Belgians.
Yeah. And then you had some Samuel Adams beers. Do you remember how those were?
They are okay.
Those were St. Paul, isn't it? Yeah.
They are okay. Not
like
Belgian quality, but it's good, strong beer.
There's a bunch of different ones. Do you remember if you had the IPA or the stouts, or what did you have?
I normally don't like IPAs, but we wandered across one IPA that I liked.
Do you remember who it was from?
It was one of the ones we bought at one of the many restaurants.
Yeah. I think we took a picture of the menu, but we have a crap ton more pictures to post. It's just that we haven't had a real good internet link. The last time I tried to post pictures, it took like 6 hours.
And another kind of frustrating thing with restaurant beer is that you get the name, sometimes you get the strength, and sometimes you get the number of calories, but you don't get the category of beer.
Yeah.
So you don't know if something is a stout or an IPA or whatever the hell it is. Because it has names like Rough Pirate Bear.
Rough pirate beer,
Yeah,
as opposed to the calm pirate.
I assume so. I think you will find a calm pirate somewhere, but
Did you try any of the Leinenkugels? That's from Wisconsin,
don't
I believe. I
think
used to drink
so.
that one a long time ago. Leine's right. We didn't see that.
The one with maple syrup was the local one.
Oh,
That
you
was-
had Castle Danger beer.
Yeah,
Well, that's from just a little bit up the shore, but yeah.
that was not great, but okay-ish.
Yeah.
You should stop putting veg shit in beer, as a general rule.
There was pumpkin beer.
Of course never.
And then we had the new, well, how did you, oh yeah, your iced coffees. You tried a million iced coffees. Which one of those were the best? There were so many. You had the Starbucks, everything Starbucks, and then you had Dunkin' Donuts, and then you had
The one I kept...
Vietnamese was one?
That was horrible. Straight up nauseatingly horrible.
All right, I've got my yarn attached. I just have to do a couple stitches past my join here, and then I'm good to go. You also had this, what was that called? The big containers of iced coffee that we had to get like really, well, apparently it was just iced coffee or iced espresso. Really strong.
Cold brew.
Cold brew, yeah.
Cold brew is very strong cold coffee with no sweeteners whatsoever. So you can't drink it. Well, you can if you are a lunatic, but you don't really want to drink it straight. But they have like flavored
Ice creamers, yeah.
creamers, basically kaffefløte med smak. And by mixing and trixing, you can get the cold brew to be pretty good.
Yeah, actually we got pretty good at that.
Yeah.
I think we did yours at about 2/3 coffee, 1/3 creamer.
Yeah,
And
something.
you had the Kahlua flavored one. I had, but I didn't have one of yours. I just had regular coffee, but I had creme brulee Pete's capsule coffee for the Keurig with Rice Krispie flavored creamer.
Yeah.
That was actually a good combo. I would have never thought Rice Krispies would be good, but it was good.
Yeah, something
Rice Krispie bar, I
just
think.
have to tell to the maybe 2 or 3 people that are actually interested. I was looking for sunglasses, and I wandered
God.
into an American sporting goods store,
Cabela's, I think.
and I had a Barrett Light 50. That's like 3 years in jail around here.
So that's not a pair of sunglasses. Do you want to explain? Okay, it's the same thing you'd get my YouTube shut down for. I know it. Was it a pistol or a shotgun?
No, it's neither. It's a rifle.
It's a rifle.
Do you know what 50 caliber is?
Not a clue.
The diameter of the bullet is 12.7 millimeters.
Okay, so huge.
Yes, you're not supposed to use those against people. They are meant to shoot down things like planes, trains, and automobiles.
Okay. So, and you didn't buy it because, yeah.
Because I'm not American. You could have bought it if you had the $11,000 or whatever I wanted for it.
I'm ready. Okay, let's see how this goes.
I think it was $1,100 actually.
I have no idea. Okay, there we go. So this is Russian 1 + 1 + 3. So I'm going over the last 4 stitches here, and as you can see, my yarn got pulled when I tried to join it, so I will be going back and pulling it. I had to just go past it to show what the stitch looks like. But anyway, so the first one is on the thumb, and then you have the 3, or actually 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I was doing the stitch I wanted to do instead of this one, then it would have been only 3. But anyway, so first one is on your thumb. Second one goes backwards. You can even do that trick where you put it on your forefinger. That will mess with my gauge, but I'm going to be picking it up anyway. And then you take the next 3 loops. So 3, 4, and 5, those loops. And then you go back out again. and then under and under. And if you were going to do that other one, it was this one. What caliber is your yarn? I think this is DK. That would be 1.2 millimeters. I don't know. We're making fun of you, Carl. I have no idea. DK. Mine is caliber DK, I think. Maybe it's worsted. No clue. Anyway, but yeah.
DK sounds like short for don't know.
Yeah. So there you go. First loop, second loop, third loop, fourth loop, and fifth loop from the end of the needle. This is so much easier in this light. The second loop is going to go behind. Pick up those 3 from this way, and then go back, pick up that other loop, and then go under those. That is the one I'm doing. If you were doing the one I can't pronounce, 1 + 1 + 2, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 loops. Then the second loop would go back. You'd pick up the third and the fourth loop there, and then go back out again. And you can choose whether you want a plaited edge or a regular edge. But I did 1 + 1 + 3. But now we know how I did it. I just clicked the wrong link. I clicked the link underneath the one I was trying to do. So I kind of like this method if I was doing this the whole way, where you put the second loop on that finger, and then you take those 3 that you loosened, and then pick that one up again, and then it's not so dickish to do. But I've actually gotten quite good at this now, so I just do it this way. I just pick up the 3 and then go back out again. But I did, when I was first starting that wrist warmer, I realized I had a tendency to pull my stitches too tight. I really kind of got to keep them a little loose with this one. Otherwise they became so incredibly tight. But yeah, so that is what that stitch looks like if you don't look where I messed up. But I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to pull it all out. But that's there. And then you can see how it takes that color and kind of splits it up. So there you can see the loop being made like that. And when you're pissy like me, you can, if you hold the top, so your string is on the top and going up for this one. If you hold the top of the loop and pull at the bottom, it makes this ripping or frogging or whatever you want to call it, a little bit, not frogging, but ripping anyway, a little bit more painless to do because it won't tighten your previous stitches. So a little trick there for the impatient. But what I should have done when I couldn't figure out where my end loop was, because you can see something either it got too tightened here, what I should have just picked out a couple stitches and then done it on. Plaited would be the same. Well, you can do that one actually. It's Plaited max. It's 1 + 2 + 2, but it's worked flat. You can actually do that one this way too. So for 1 + 2 + 2, that's 5 loops. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like mine. But you are taking 2 loops and putting them on your forefinger, and then take those other 2 loops from behind and do it that way. That is Plaited, if you want to do it on your thumb. So the only difference is that you're taking 2 loops and moving them out of the way to grab 2 and then going through 2 again. So you could do that one for a stitch of the month too if you wanted to, Max, by the way. I'm horrible at doing stitches, working them flat. That would mean not using your thumb at all. And the reason for this is because my gauge starts looking like that if I don't. But if I always have the end one tightened to my thumb, then I know to call a gooder back. So it might have hiccuped for a minute there. Anyway, okay, then I'll put this away. I have to put the yarn on my needle so I can find it. You want to send Cecilia a message that says I'll call her after YouTube? She's going to keep trying.
I don't have my phone. I put it on charge.
That's okay. She'll figure it out. Okay. Then we back up again. Pretty sky. I like the way the sky works with my shawl. It's always good to dress for the sky. Whee! Okay. It's actually still nice and bright out here, but that could be the new camera because it is darker. Our objects are darker than they appear.
We don't have that many more outside filming days now.
No, that's why I wanted to make sure we got outside today. So I'm glad that the rain kind of kept up for a bit. Camo shawl. That's right. Let's see, then I'll go back and catch up, see what kind of caliber. Oh, Doro's here, by the way, and Karsten.
I spent the last hour today trying to teach Arabs how to throw axes.
Did you have any success?
A little bit, but it's weird because he was doing absolutely everything wrong, but he still managed to get the axe to stick.
Yeah?
So he's throwing like this.
Oh, that's impressive.
And the axe spins like crazy, but occasionally it hits with blade first, so I can't really say it's wrong because it sometimes works.
Ah, that actually worked for him. That was good. Audra says, I'm thinking to make long socks from linen yarn. That's going to be fun to splice, but you can do it. If anybody can do it, Audra can do it. Remember, don't threaten, or was it don't mess with the Lithuanian woman? I like that.
Be Virginia stitches.
That might be Virginia stitches. No, it's splicing linen because linen doesn't splice together. You have to do something like a Russian join or a sew splice or just a lazy join. Then there's that one guy that calls it a mango join. You can do, but you can't spit splice it together and you can't felt it together. But oh my God, long socks from linen yarn. That's gonna be a fun thing. Lindsay says, oh yeah, but treatment is, oh yeah, we got that part. That's what she was talking about, my foot. I self-diagnosed myself and she did it better. Perennial something. It sounds like a flower.
How about kick a doctor?
Kick a doctor. I might have to kick a doctor. They're kind of hard to find around here. I don't know where they would be. Let's see. Somewhere way over there. Let's see if I can catch up more. Doro says, I recently stumbled across a mention of thrifted igloo ul. Couldn't find it in any online store. Only some private sellers. Has it been discontinued by the yarn company? Quite so. It's quite possible. Igloo is actually something that Europris, which is spelled Euro, E-U-R-O, P-R-I-S, sold. And I believe, I think it's probably Viking yarn that sold it. If not, it's Trysil, T-R-Y-S-I-L, that had it. You might have more luck finding that in Norway, but because it is a Norwegian yarn. There we go. It is a Norwegian yarn, but yeah, it was. It's basically the same thickness as another one that they have called Natur, and it's like nature without the E on the end. They made that wool, which is, it's very, very similar in thickness anyway, and they're both 100% wool, and they're both lopy. So if you can't find igloo, try to find the Natur one. But they did make it for a while. I actually might even still have some in my stash, God knows. If moths or anything, or the mice haven't found it, and it would be in the Viking house. But yeah, it is probably discontinued or just renamed. So check Natur Garn and see if you can find that one. Let's see, we watch Carl some more. Let's see. Samantha's here, she made it! Nella's already answered the question. Gee, she's quick. It has been a new yarn by Trysil Garn in 2013. Ha! Look at that, I named it. It wasn't Viking, but it was Trysil. I got there. Love the dragons, says PJ. Thank you. That was the embroidery I was showing before you got out here. Nolvia says, did you finish your bottles of iced coffee in Minnesota?
Not all of them. I tested the two. And well, the alcoholic iced coffee was...
Oh yeah, no, you got through all of the regular iced coffees, but not the alcoholic ones.
The regular ones, the safe bet, if you have my taste in iced coffee, is Dunkin' Donuts vanilla taste.
My mom seems to like the Dunkin' Donut ones too.
Yeah.
But regular coffee, she uses the Keurig ones.
But there is a lot of weird iced coffee in America. Not all of it is drinkable unless you're from Vietnam.
I was impressed at the amount of iced coffee. I knew there would be a ton, but holy crap. Embroidery is on my list of skills to collect. Beautiful work. Oh, there's so many videos on there. Just look up chain stitch and you can do stem stitch and chain stitch and you can make just about anything. Trick is not to pull your thread too tight because otherwise it'll bunch up your work. Lindsay says, I think we should have made him try Lone Star. I'm also curious about what he thinks of Shiner Bock. Oh, we didn't see those beers. Lone Star, that'd be Texas, I'm assuming.
I saw it, but there was so many bears.
Yeah. Oh, Peruta found the dragon's milk. It's from Michigan. You're right.
You were right.
Comstock, Michigan, maybe, if I remember.
Michigan, I thought it was from Minnesota.
Just saying.
But Same difference.
No, them's fighting words. You got the whole UP and the mainland Michigan. If you mix those up, you're...
Only noticeable difference between Michigan and Minnesota is that one have cheap fuel and the other one has cheap alcohol.
Albert says it's an anti-material rifle when he's talking. Yep. So, Albert's your fan. I like the what caliber your yarn is. I'm going to remember that every time now. I'm always amazed that someone invented these stitches for making clothes. Yeah, it's insane. And then you look at Ingla's work, and she takes something like the Oslo stitch, and she joins it, and oh my God, in almost 100 different ways, and there's more to go. And she can get it. Question to Karen, says Audra. How would you recommend to join Linen Yarn? You're so European, right? So real good. To join the Linen Yarn, I like Lazy Join, to be honest. I put a little video, a reel or something on my Instagram, but it's in 2 parts because I could only film for a minute at a time. But basically, you leave the last stitch undone on your thumb, and you follow with the new yarn. You follow the path of the stitch on the back side of your finger, and then you keep going. And then after you've done a row after that, you can try to just weave them in a little bit, and it should be okay as long as you have a long enough tail, anyway. But there was also the, if you don't mind a little knot, the Russian join is pretty good too, or a weaver's knot, for example, but you will have that little hard, it'll feel like a little pebble. It's like the Princess and the Pea, I can always tell. I'm amazed at how bright this camera is. This is new. So this iPhone 16, by the way, thank you to my boss because we needed a new one for filming. Mine was 4 years out of date. But the quality is, we can film a lot longer because your face is almost too dark for me to see, but in the camera, you're absolutely gorgeous. You look not a day over 83. You're going to turn 49 tomorrow. They were saying happy birthday to you, by the way.
Thank you.
1 more year and we'll be on even terms again. Albert says he's home and opened a Chin Ippa from Globetrotter Beer. You were a little disappointed when we did go to buy beer through the tax-free. We waited till we got to Norway to do it. But they didn't have any of the one. They had pretty much nothing that you haven't tried, or without mangoes and raspberries.
Gudvangen from Chin is a very safe bet, and I had that.
Yeah,
so,
and we got a lot of
I'm
those.
pretty happy.
Yeah, that's good. It might wet splice quite nicely, says Nella, depending on the linen. It could, yeah, just pull real careful maybe, and make sure you have a long enough bite so that it doesn't work its way out too quickly. Arlene is back! She said she was talking to you before a pumpkin patch. This weekend is Thanksgiving in Canada. Happy Thanksgiving to Canada! I'm just jumping around. Look at Carl jumping. He's excited. If he doesn't jump, I'll make him jump. Everyone's puking now because I made him sick. Lone Star is bad. Uh-oh, Canadians don't agree with Texas on the Lone Star beer. Kiwi says, I've been eyeing German brick stitch embroidery lately and will probably start to learn this autumn. Have I tried it? No, that would be a good one to try. I haven't tried that. I know what it looks like. I can't remember it for the life of me now, but I've seen it before. Okay, so I'm not Norwegian descent. I'm not Swedish descent. I'm not Danish descent. I'm not even of Finnish descent. It's Polish and German. But my great-grandmother Oswald on my mom's side, that's the German, she had some brick embroidery that was done on some aprons, and I have to dig that up and see if I can find it.
She has a religious relationship to potatoes, but I haven't seen any similar thing with sausages. So I'm guessing the Polish genes are stronger than the German ones.
But I was eating a lot of salmon in Minnesota too. You know, the freshwater salmon. Oh, you got to try a gumbo, Carl. Tell them about the gumbo. We went to Bubba Gump Shrimp in the Mall of America on our last day.
I was actually pretty surprised that we got so close to what it's supposed to taste like.
We did, but ours was better. I hate to say it, but it was. We didn't have the okra in it, and we didn't have
It wasn't quite as spicy, but it had more crab meat in it.
But the trick in, I want to blame the right person for this, but anyway, the trick was that roux, where you sat there and browned the flour for like 40 minutes. It takes forever. Your arm is killing you, but huge difference because that's the taste I was missing in your gumbo. So, I'm sorry, Bubba. I wasn't feeling it. I would really like the apples, though. Mom made apple crisp. So we got 1 minute to go. They're also saying, then a happy early birthday to Carl. Next time you see him, he'll look a little bit older than today. So, Carl, are you thinking Saturday next week? Can we pull that off?
I think so.
I'll come around this way. Now it's getting dark on the screen, but we just made it. If you come over this way, Carl, though, then they can see you because the last bit of light is on us.
I think we have a Frenchman that has been waiting for us for 15 minutes now.
Yep, yeah, we're exactly 1 hour. There you go. Carl's looking older already. No, anyway, but yeah, so next week, Carl might have a glass. I might be able to pick out the beer for him, and he'll have to try something new. But I can guarantee you next week we're going to have to do half of this indoors until the clocks change.
No bloody citrus, woman.
What? When do the clocks change? Is that next week? Week after?
I think it's the week after, but I can double check that.
Then we might get some of the light back. Okay, something to keep aware of because Europe and...
It has to be the week after. It's the very end of the month.
Yeah.
So...
Europe and North America, South America, they change their clocks at different weeks. So,
but
2 weeks time, says Nella. Thank you. So in 2 weeks.
It's so dark now that I'm starting to look ethnic on the screen.
It's the beer. He matches his beer now. Thank you for the beer, Audra.
This is very good.
Okay, we'll see you next Saturday. Bye bye.